Hello there. Welcome to Alcon Raycon. My name's Alvin, and I hope what I am saying tonight will be of great interest to so many people across the world. The first thing is that the test match between the West Indies and England took place simply because of the rains at the Old Trafford in Manchester. So 1 day's gone, 2 days to go, and of course the West Indies have the uphill task of having to bat twice to cover off 436 runs and then to give the English team runs to make. That's going to be a difficult one. So it rained all day and everybody was disappointed. But hold on. There was a documentary that was placed on the television while knowing that the cricket's not going to come. They decided to show a documentary on Brian Charles Lara. Now, Brian Charles Lara is a Trinidadian, and he's the most successful batsman in world cricket. He may not have been, in some cases, considered the best, but he's certainly the most successful, and he is definitely among the best. What was interesting about him? I have listened and read and seen a number of documentaries by some of the great athletes of the world. And not too very often do you find their eloquence to be as good as they should be. And this is what impressed me with Brian Charles Lara. Here was a situation, a young man who attended Fatima College in Port of Spain and certainly had a pretty good level of education. But when he had scored so many runs across so many countries across the world, Australia, England, Pakistan, South Africa, everywhere across the world, and has scored the most runs in first-class cricket, 500 runs in an inning, in Test cricket, 400 runs in an inning, and a number of other good scores in different parts of the world. This time, he was asked to describe it. It was to me a lesson that could go any part of the world to educate young sportsmen, particularly sports cricketers, and to learn about the game, not only by seeing him play, but by hearing how he describes every single run that he has made in his life. He's been able to sort of put together the batting strokes and to help the youngster to understand the principles of good batting. It was so easy to understand, and it was so beautiful to hear from a batsman who has scored on almost every cricket pitch across the world and who has made so many wonderful, wonderful runs for the global athletic lover would enjoy. It was just marvelous. I would like to see this documentary travel across the world. Forget about where he comes from. He speaks English, and quite good as well, and he is so practical in his explanations of not only strokes that he plays, but the way to form innings. He was given the captaincy on 3 different occasions. He had been through the mill of being challenged by some of his own players through jealousy. That happens all across the world, isn't it? But he was able to write about them. So he came on as captain for 3 different times. Brian Charles Lara was an unassuming young man from a small village in Trinidad called Santa Cruz. His level of education was good enough to tell us that he can explain himself. But there's no level of education in cricket that could have brought anybody up to the level that Brian Lara has achieved. Not because of the fact that he has achieved it, but because he can explain it. And he can tell the kids across the world exactly how they will approach it. It was enjoyable. It was an experience for me. And I had the opportunity to do commentaries on some of his innings, the good ones, all across the world. So I would like you to take a look, find one of those documentaries and see how much information you can share, not only to yourself, if you're a lover of the sport, but for your children as well. This is a sports education. This is not only about cricket. This is trying to get the young people to think and understand the game that they want to play. so that technically they'll be able to understand it. And when practically they get onto the field, they may be able to put it into practice, what Brian Lara has indicated to him, and maybe the world can be a better place for good cricketers. I have the honor of saying to Brian Lara, well done, my friend. It is a tremendous contribution to the world of cricket.